Your reading story today is called A Feathered Friend by Philip Frederick, and it's about President Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. We've talked about that before. And that was an important document that said that the United States was a new nation and free from rule by England. Later, after Thomas Jefferson became our third president, he served for 8 years. He did many kinds of different kinds of work. He was a lawyer, a builder, a farm owner, and a leader. And as a farm owner, he had many kinds of animals, and he really liked animals. So when he was president, he had a pet. And he's not the only president that's had a pet that lives in the White House. There are a lot of presidents that have pets. The genre of this story is narrative nonfiction, so it's going to include facts about real people, places, and events, and it's shaped into a story. The real people become the characters, the real places become the setting, and the events become the plot. Sometimes an author may add information about what a particular character is thinking or feeling, even though the author could not really know this information. So it's non-fictional, but it's narrative nonfiction. The essential question I want you to think about is, how might pets help our leaders? How they might help our leaders. Comprehension strategy that we're going to be using is making connections. So you're going to make connections to your own experiences or other stories that you've read to help you understand this story better. And we'll also be doing some visualizing. And visualizing helps a reader picture what the author is describing by using their own experiences and their 5 senses. So let's go ahead and read A Feathered Friend. President Thomas Jefferson had a pet mockingbird. His name was Dick. Dick spent a lot of time with Thomas, but he hid if the president had a visitor. All right, so let's see if we can make any connections, okay? So when I have visitors to my house, my dog has to go into another bedroom. He kind of hides from our guests, a little bit because he's shy and a little bit because he can't control himself. But when a visitor comes by, my dog Baker goes into a different room. So I can kind of make a connection to this story. Do you have a pet at your house that either comes out when you have visitors or goes and hides when you have visitors? All right. So yet, when Thomas was free, he would call down his pet. Thomas might grab a fiddle and play for a bit. His pet sat on the desk and sang a good song. Not all mockingbirds can sing well. Dick did. All right, so what are you picturing in your mind here? Like, what kind of sights and sounds might you be hearing if Thomas Jefferson is playing the fiddle and he's kind of dancing to the music and there's like a bird sitting on his desk? Are you imagining this as like a mental movie in your mind? A president must work. So, at times, Thomas had to tell his pet mockingbird that. Then Dick just sat with Thomas. So, he got up and sang when Thomas was in a playful mood, but when Thomas had to work, his mockingbird sat down and let him work. Dick still sang to Thomas. Then Thomas might hum a bit. If a man came in, the bird sat and hid. Could the man tell that a mockingbird sat up there? He might not, but Thomas could. Now, what do you picture in your mind? What sights and sounds are you hearing? I kind of picture the bird like singing to Thomas, and Thomas might be like swaying and humming as he's writing on different pieces of paper. And then maybe there's a sound of the knock at the door, and the bird kind of flaps his wings and finds a place up high to sit and watch when Thomas is talking to someone. And then that way he would know when it was safe to come back. So that really is the entire story. It wasn't a very long story, but just meant to introduce you to the fact that sometimes presidents do have pets that live with them while they're president and, maybe kept him company while he did his work. Okay, I will be sure to include your discussion starters. Let's see. We do have a few vocabulary words to get through. All right, the first one that I want to talk about is the word good. His pet sat on the desk and sang a good song.
Good, positive, pleasing, healthy. It is good to eat vegetables and fruit. Good.
Okay, so good means positive, pleasing, or healthy. So he's saying what kind of a song? A positive, pleasing song, right? The next word actually is the word song, so let's take a look.
Song. The musical call of a bird. The bird sings a sweet song. It chirps and tweets. Song.
All right, so a song in this case is the musical call of a bird. And did you know that different kinds of birds sing different kinds of songs? They have their own calls. So the last word that I want to talk to you about is this word up here, bit. Thomas might grab a fiddle and play for a bit.
Bit. A short while. We do not have to leave for a few minutes. We can stay for a bit. Bit.
Okay, so I know that some of you might be thinking, oh, well, bit means, that's what happens. A dog will bite you, then you've been bit. Nope, not in this case. This means for a short while. He played his fiddle for a bit. Has your mom or your dad ever asked you, can you just sit down for a bit? Can you just sit down for a short while, right? Okay, can you wait for a bit? Can you wait a short while? I will be sure to include your discussion starters so that you can talk about a feathered friend with your big person.